An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
21.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Garoppolo now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. Space to maneuver at the 40. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, 71 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do
Put your foot on
best.
the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Buying time to his left. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up.
Here we go. 180.
On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
180.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the
Lock.
Say.
They'll run on first down. Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. The CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A gain of 3, second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On play action, now Garoppolo. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
That's it, baby. We go work.
They're on 23-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, he's going to find his tight end Boyle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. That's caught left side by the tight end Boyle. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
Nice job. Nice patience right there. Put him on the right side. Let him work his way across. Put the ball in his hands and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
Get ready.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dee Ford. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. It's Coleman here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They come out here in the eye.
In your face.
2nd down and goal. Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know
into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the 2nd half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
A gain of 15. 1st down, Ravens.
Here we go.
Ingram again, a first down carry. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Ray Greenlaw on the tackle. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
On second down, Ingram. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s, so a little bit lower scoring than we expected, but a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Here we go.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. The Sanders has got it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a first and 10 at the 39-yard line.
21. Here we go. 61. Matchbox lights.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Dancing to his left, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Patrick Owasor able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a yard.
39-yard line.
After the sack, here's second and 11. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
At the 24-yard line.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 45. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, that turnover might just about do it here. 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, a couple of first downs, and this one should just about be over.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, it doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down. Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. On the screen, this is Coleman. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They'll get 34 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total.
11.
On 2nd and goal, Garoppolo, and it's complete in the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel there to make the grab, and the Niners are able to stretch their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Check. Watch 54. I'm on.
After the interception, here's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Jackson to throw. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And he's got Snead. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Now it's Jackson. Short throw into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Jackson. Short throw into the hands of the tight end, Boyle, and he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Jackson looking to throw on third. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quan Alexander, and he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line.
Here we go. Hey, alert! Alert! Alert!
Down to a knee for the 49ers. This one about to be on ice.
It's a loss of a yard.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.